Turn with me in your Bibles to Psalms 126, verse 1. And while you're turning, I'll pray. Lord, in the name of Jesus, I just want to say thank you, God. Thank you for everything that you are doing for us. God, thank you for everything that you have done for us. And God, that we pray that you continue to do the things that you're doing. And God, that we know that it's going to get better and better, greater and greater. God, we are dependent on you. God, I ask that I decrease and that you increase. God, let every word come out of my mouth be acceptable to you. And God, let the hearers have an understanding. God, we're seeking knowledge and understanding. We don't want to just know your word. We want to grow in your word. In your son Jesus' name, amen. Psalms 126 and 1. When the Lord turned again the captivity of Zion, we were like them that dream. The title of our lesson tonight is How Dreams Can Turn into Blessings. How dreams can turn into blessings. Over the past 3 weeks, Pastor Kiner has been teaching the Dream or Die series. In week 1, he explained to us how master dreamers dream. The 7 secrets of a master dream. In week 2, he taught us how to become dreamers. Don't talk about it, dream about it. In week 3, he taught us that we are what we dream. I dream, therefore I am. And in all 3 lessons, the dreams that were spoken about happen in our unconscious hours of sleep. The word dream has more than just one definition. The first definition is the one that Pastor Kiner has been hitting on for the last 3 weeks. It's a series of thoughts, images, and sensations occurring in a person's mind during sleep. But the second definition happens during our conscious thoughts. It's a cherished aspiration, ambition, or ideal. This definition relates to what we imagine for our lives. See, I don't care what state you were born in, whether you came in poverty, whether you came in as a drug baby, whether you had a single parent, whether you were abandoned at birth, whether nobody wanted you, you were not cherished, you were a mistake. I don't care how you came in. Nobody imagines that things will not get better. I don't care what state you're in right now. It doesn't matter whether you're homeless, you're in an abusive relationship, you out of work, you're on welfare, you don't have a career, you don't have a man, you don't have a woman, you're a single parent, you have a lousy job, you're stuck in slavery on these jobs under these people. It does not matter. When God turns your situation around, it doesn't feel real. In the beginning, the turnover comes to you in moments and you find yourself checking to make sure that all is well. Do I really have a home? You get up and you walk through it. You're making sure I'm no longer homeless. So I try to make sure that I still have the home that I remember getting. The one I prayed about. The one I asked God for. When you come off welfare and the first time you go into the grocery store and you don't have to use that EBT card, baby, and when they say cash or food stamps, and you be thinking to yourself, look at God. I'm saying cash today. I'm using cash. When you first find yourself in a decent job and you get that first paycheck, baby, when you get a real job paycheck and you realize what you've been giving up because you didn't step out sooner than you did, you'll be looking at that, checking them numbers. You'll be like, this could have been me. This could have always been me. I didn't know because I didn't know how to grow. My dream hadn't manifested just yet. When you are a single mother and you raise those children by yourself and they actually become something, they not in prison, they in college, they become somebody, you look back over that thing. See, I know you think that it feels like it took forever, but it doesn't. See, only the women that have given birth will understand this. When I'm going through labor, it's a horrible thing. But it's something about when when that baby come through me and I get to hold him or her in my hand, it seemed like it was nothing to it. The first baby I had, I'll never forget, I told my husband, I could do this again. It wasn't that big of a deal. It wasn't as bad as they told me it was going to be. I thought this got to be the best thing in the world. You just had a person, a whole person came forth out of me. Because it wasn't as bad as I felt, because what? Things had been turned over. God had turned that thing around, and I was like those that dream. It didn't even feel real to me. It was as though I was waking up from a dream. It didn't feel real to me, and every now and then I would go to where she laid, and I would look at her, and I would say, girl, you did that. Girl, look at you. You did a good job. I got to say, I'm proud of you, girl. When this thing gets turned around, you are like those that dream. It does not feel real. Psalms 126:1 says, and when the Lord turned again the captivity of Zion, we were like them that dream. When dreams become blessings, it's reminiscent of the verse in the Bible that says, Psalms 30:5, part B. It says, weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning. When I was a child in grade 3, 4, or 5, I would hear this spoken at my parents' different churches, and I always said to myself, what on earth are these people talking about? What are they crying for all night? What could really be going on? Because I was a child and I was thirsty for a word. I wanted to get a clear understanding. I would ask my daddy, why are they weeping all night? What's happening? Weeping is crying, right? He would say, I would say, why are they crying all night, Daddy? What's happening? He told me, he said, sometimes when you go through stuff, he said, it feels like forever. He said, those are the dark days of your life. He said, so we call them night. He said, but when things get better, that's when the joy comes. He said, so joy cometh in the morning. He said, your morning time is when things look way better than they were looking at first. See, during my conscious hours, when I dream of a better life. I don't know about you, but when I daydream, I don't daydream about popsicles and lollipops, baby. Penny daydream about big things coming. See, when I hear people saying, that's my dream job, I'm always sitting there going, baby, my dream job is not even at a job. My dream job don't even clock in to nobody. See, that's my dream job. My dream job is being me. My dream job is being on Penny's time. When you got up, when Penny felt like getting up. When you went to bed, when Penny felt like going to bed. Where you got to be, wherever Penny want to be. See, those are my dream jobs. See, when people dream of dream jobs, it's never what. I be listening to them, I be like, maybe I'm the only one dreaming like this. One woman asked me, she said, what are the best hours for you to work? I said, well, I've been thinking about this. I said, because I've decided I am going to do something when I'm doing nothing, girl. I'm going to do something. I said, but, like 10 to 1 sounds good. She said, 10 to 1? What kind of job you working from 10 to 1? I said, well, let me explain something to you. I don't plan on getting up too early because I ain't going to have really that much to do. I don't plan on staying out too late because what I do got to do, I plan on getting it done. See, so from 10 to 1, I plan to do whatever it is I plan to do. Whatever it is I'm going to be doing on penny hours, I'm going to do it from 10 to 1. See, I can't be in rush hour because I'm not in a rush. I can't be all held up. People going to be mad at me because I'm going to be driving slow as possible. Saying to you, girl, you better go around. I ain't got no job. I don't have nowhere to be. So you got to understand I'm only going because it sounds like a good thing to do today. You got to have a dream that folks feel like you can't dream. When I dream of houses, they're never small. When I see people say, we downgraded, for what? I don't care if I never walk in that wing of the house. I want it to be over there. So you see what I'm saying? I don't care if I never get to that part. I want to know there's another wing in this house. Those are my plans. When people say, you need to be downstairs, baby, please. I don't know it's going to be an upstairs there, though. I may be downstairs, but there's going to be an upstairs. See, I don't dream small dreams. I dream stuff that people say, oh, that's impossible. The impossible are the kind of dreams that I dream. See, during my conscious hours, I don't waste my time thinking about kibbles and bits. I could care less about small stuff. All my things are big. When folks think about, girl, I'm going to get me a Mercedes. Why I got to get one? I want a garage that hold many. See, and why I got to be just a Mercedes? I like the Lexus truck, too. I want the Mercedes truck, but the Lexus truck will look good on a Saturday. The Mercedes truck is good for Sunday. I want the Cadillac truck on Friday. See, you don't understand. I like the Expedition on Thursday. You got to understand, baby, I don't mind driving in the Sequoia. The Sequoia is a nice-looking car, girl. I'll drive that bad boy for you on Wednesday. See, I got cars for every day of the week. Why am I dreaming small? You got to stop dreaming these itty-bitty dreams. Why are you dreaming? Baby, if they tell me to write numbers down, I write numbers with zeros that don't stop. I asked my son, I said, well, what's a Google? How far can that zero go? Well, this, mama, well, baby, why do I want billions when trillions are available? That's all I'm saying to you. Why do you dream small with this big old God? You got this big old God with your itty-bitty self and your itty-bitty dreams, thinking about itty-bitty stuff. During my conscious hours, I dream big because I know that my God can, and I know that my God will. Allow me to give you 3 types of dreams that will always be blessed. 3 types of dreams that will always be blessed. The dreams of the faithful. See, faithful people call things that are not as though they were. They say things like, if I perish, I perish. They believe in this because why not have faith in God? Why not say, I'm going to do it and get up and start making moves to get it done? See, in Esther 4:16, she told them, she said, go gather together all the Jews that are present in Shushan and fast ye for me. Neither eat nor drink 3 days, nor night or day. I also and my maidens will fast likewise. And so will I go in unto the king, which is not according to the law. And if I perish, I perish. Esther 5:2 says, and it was so that when the king saw Esther the queen standing in the court, that she obtained favor in his sight. And the king held out to Esther the golden scepter and that was in his hand. So Esther drew near and touched the top of the scepter. See, Esther represents dreamers that understand the pros and cons of not knowing the outcome. We have to try, and we must understand that with each dream, there are pros and cons. It's going to be as hard as you imagine it to be. It's going to be as easy as you put it in your mind for it to be. There are pros and cons to everything that you want out of life. I want more. I'm going for more. That means I'm probably going to have to give some stuff up. I'm probably going to have to let some stuff go. He was good. Now, don't get me wrong. I do want a husband. And he seems to be a good guy. But he don't seem like he wants to be a husband. So since I want a husband, and he is a good guy, but he don't seem like he want to be a husband, I'm going to take some advice from Sister Penny, Mama. You want a man, you got to get from under a man. How does a man know that you looking for a man when every time he see you, you sitting up under another man? It confuses the hunter. Because according to the hunter, you've already been caught. So why is he searching for someone that's already caught? See, he's trying to get his own meal. Most hunters don't want to share. Most hunters don't want what's left over. Most hunters they like to get it fresh. See, if I was going to go fishing, I want my own fish. I don't want the one that was on your hook first. Stop being available to be hooked up to any and everything. See, you should be like some fish. I don't care how long you fish, baby. You ain't going to catch me. Because it's some things I'm looking for. See, there's some things you're going to have to dangle in front of me that you may not be ready. See, I need you to dangle the keys to some of those cars in front of my face. I'm going to need you to dangle the keys to that house I'm looking for in front of my face. See, I need to know if you got some discipline because my son is hard-headed and I need some help over here. See, I need to know if you can help me in other ways. Because, see, baby, while you dangling worms, I'm looking for full steak meals. And I can't settle for less. So since I can't settle for less, I'm looking for what I'm looking for. And since I'm faithful, I know I can have it. See, Esther presents to us the pros and the cons of being a dreamer. Hallelujah. Number 2, the second type of dream that will always be blessed is the dreams of the fearful. See, the dreams of the fearful will always be blessed. Luke 23:32, 39 through 43, it reads, "And there were also 2 other malefactors led with him to be put to death. And one of the malefactors which were hanged railed on him, saying, If thou be Christ, save thyself and us. But the other answering rebuked him, saying, Dost not thou fear God, seeing that thou art the same condemnation? And we indeed justly, for we receive the due reward of our deeds, but this man has done nothing amiss. And he said unto Jesus, Lord, remember me when thou comest into thy kingdom. And Jesus said unto him, Verily I say unto thee, today shalt thou be with me in paradise." See, the thief on the cross represents dreamers that seem to have nothing left. When you ain't got nothing left and you still got the nerve to be dreaming and asking for more, it says that not only are you faithful, not only do you fear God, but you got enough sense to know even with fearing God, God still loves you. See, every time they tell my mama, but your heart only beats at 25%. When I get in that car, she tells me about something else that's going to go on. Well, I don't know about the hard thing, but anyway, make sure that on July this, you have me ready to go to so-and-so, so-and-so. I said to myself, when you almost ain't got nothing left, when you can barely breathe, when every step you take more than you got to give, and you still got the nerve to be asking for more, it says you are one of those that although you fear God, you know what God will do for you. See, because I don't want you to get this word fear confused with afraid. See, a lot of people say it's a synonym. A synonym don't mean the exact same thing. A synonym means it's like that. The fear that we have of God is reverence. See, I revere God. I'm not finna let you disrespect my God. I'm not finna let you use his name in vain. I'm going to get you straight every time I get a chance to get you straight about my God. Because I know what my God has done for me. And I don't want nobody to be messing up my blessings. And I was standing there and could have said something. So I don't care who you are. You could be this small or this tall. I'm ready to tell you, baby, that ain't what that means. Baby, you need to watch your mouth. Baby, be careful who you put your mouth on. See, you got to be ready at all times because God is watching us and he's listening. Did you have a chance to get them right, and did you take that chance? Every time you take it on yourself to say, I ain't going to get involved in that, God say the same thing about you. Oh, God, I ain't going to get involved in that mess. I ain't going to get involved. You couldn't get involved on my behalf. So I can't get involved on yours. See, as a dreamer, I got to know that when there's nothing left, I still got to be dreaming. When you dream in the face of death, your dreams become blessings. See, the third type of dream that will always be blessed is the dreams of the futuristic. The dreams of the futuristic. See, when we daydream, we think of things that we aspire to be or have in our future. Pastor Connie, listen to this. Facts about the future, number 101. The future begins today. What I do next is part of my future. The future begins today. What I do next is part of my future. Stop waiting for days and days to come and years to come. Your future is the very next step that you take. Every time you say, I'm going to do it next, get up and get started. If you think you got it in you, you can put the time in. Go ahead and start it. Because let me tell you something. Time is a beautiful thing. The same amount of time we got is the same amount of time Martin Luther King had. It's the same amount of hours in his day that's in our day. Look at what he did with his day. We can do the same things with our day. Don't think that somebody else is making better use of their time and you can't. We get the same hours that Bill Gates get. We get the same hours that Oprah get. We get the same hours that Obama get. Our days, hours are numbered. So why aren't we making the best of every hour that we get? Make the best of every moment that you got. See, the future begins today. It's the very next step. Pastor Kiner introduced us to the daughters of Zelophehad. In Numbers 27, 3, 5, and 7, it says, our father died in the wilderness, and he was not in the company of them that gathered themselves together against the Lord in the company of Korah, but died in his own sin and had no sons. Why should the name of our father be done away from among his family, because he has no son? Give unto us, therefore, a possession among the brethren of our future. And Moses brought their causes before the Lord, and the Lord said that the daughters of Zelophehad speak right. Thou shalt surely give them a possession of an inheritance among their father's brethren, and thou shalt cause the inheritance of their father to pass unto them. See, the daughters of Zelophehad represents dreamers that want more out of life. You may be the first one in your family to ever do it. That don't mean it shouldn't be done. You may be the only one you know that's doing it. That don't mean you shouldn't do it. Stop letting what other people can't do hold back what you should do. Stop letting other people, non-dreamers, hold you back. Girl, it's going to be impossible to do that. Stop sharing your dreams with these folks that ain't never did nothing. If you see that there is a curse upon your family, the curse could be in any dimension. I see a lot of women have curses on their family where she ain't got a husband, her mama ain't got a husband, the daughter ain't got a husband. Y'all got a husband curse. Y'all can't hold a man. Now, that don't mean you can't be a wife. It means you've been under bad training. And when you're under bad training, you learn to do things the wrong way. So the fact that I can't keep a man has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with this bad training I'm under. But I decided I want a man. So what did I do? I began to train under folks who got a man. I began to listen to what wives say. I began to act like a wife before I became a wife. See, I noticed that most wives are in before 10. Guess what? I started going in before 10. I couldn't club because I noticed that clubbers are usually not wives. I learned that wives are willing to give something up in order to get something. So I had to be willing to compromise. I learned that wives have to be fit mothers. See, just because you're a mother don't make you fit. Just because you go to the gym don't put you in shape, girl. I'm just trying to say, mothers, wives, good wives are fit mothers. So what did I have to do? I had to find out how to be a better mother. See, my mother had the mother thing. She had that down. Then I realized, well, she had a husband until he died, so evidently she had that down too. So I began to study her ways. I realized she's quiet. That when my father would speak, there would be times where she didn't open her mouth. I said, oh, so wives have to be willing to let them say what they gonna say, even if they don't feel the way they feel. You can let them talk. You ain't got to agree with it, but there's a time where you got to know when to shut your mouth. See, I began to learn things that were important to my future because I wanted to be a wife. And because I wanted to be a wife, I had to change my ways. I couldn't say and do everything. And although I may carry the load, I have to make it all, everybody around think he the one carrying it. See, baby, it may be my paycheck that paid for the meal, but I bet you money he going to pull his card out. Why is he pulling his card? Because, baby, I ain't come to help. Now, I done already helped. I went to work. I made the money. But I promise you, when I present it to my children, you better ask your daddy. Why you got to ask daddy? Because I don't want you to ever think that Penny is carrying a load that Ricardo can't pick up. So I want you to know, baby, this is a load I carry justly. I carry it proudly. And I'm happy to be helping out. See, I'm the help. He's the meat. I help him meet where he needs to be met. So these are things that I learned in order to better my future. See, you can be something that nobody else is in your family because you strive to be that. Just because she messed up and she messed up and she messed up, that don't mean you messed up. You can be a better man. How can I be a better man? Stop looking at men that didn't do it. Start looking at the men that did stay. See, my daddy, he didn't stay, but I bet you know a friend that did stay. Study him. Study his ways. So you can always be changing your future. You got to want more. You got to go for more. And in order to do it, you're going to have to present your case before the Lord. And when you present your case before the Lord, God is going to say, and she's right. We're going to change these things. Baby, you can break a curse over your family right now. You ain't got to wait to break curses. Curses are breakable. Don't think because there's a curse on your family that it has to stay on your family. You can break a curse today. I broke the curse of alcoholism. I don't drink. I broke the curse of drugs. I don't do drugs. How did I break them? I didn't start what I knew was going to take me down through there. Because, see, some things you can see and learn a lesson from. When I saw all them alcoholics, I said to myself, girl, alcohol don't do well with this family. When I saw all them potheads, I said, girl, weed ain't doing for them what it's doing for Snoop Dogg. Because evidently, he got a career and they don't. So you got to start learning, oh, it's just grass, baby. It's grass that's not good for you. See, what worked for him don't work for me. I had to learn some things that didn't no man teach me. I had to watch it. I had to say, that ain't what I'm going to do. See, that ain't for me. Let me give you 3 ways to have your dreams become blessings. 3 ways to have your dreams become blessings. Number 1, write them down. Write them down. Shelby County Schools, under the direction of Kerner Cash, had all teachers at the beginning of every school year to help children to write their hopes and dreams. Your hope was something that you wanted to occur in that school year, but your dream was what you wanted to be when you got older. And it was a simple statement. I dream of becoming a police officer. I dream of becoming a firefighter. I dream of becoming a pastor. I dream of becoming a crime scene investigator. I dream of becoming, and these are things that I've seen, I dream of becoming a wife. I dream of becoming a father. See, these are kids that ain't got stuff, that want some stuff. See, I dream of becoming these things. And according to what grade you were in, it was how much you had to write on this paper. In K through 2, they just had to write the statement, I dream of becoming, and end the sentence. But when you got in third grade, we required them to tell us why. So they would say, I dream of becoming a firefighter because I want to save lives. In the fourth grade, you had to tell us why and where. I dream of becoming a firefighter because I want to save lives in Memphis. Then when I got to the fifth grade, you had to tell me why, where, and when. So I told you, I dream of becoming a firefighter so I can save lives in Memphis by the time I'm 22 years old. See, what were we teaching them? Under the guidance of Kinder Cash, we was teaching our children to plan for their future. The statement was simple. I dream of. We were teaching our children a simple plan. Just have a dream. Habakkuk 2:2 says, and the Lord answered me and said, write the vision, make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. This is how your dreams become blessings. When you dream of something, begin writing them down. Don't be shy about it. Write down what you want out of life. Write down the stuff that you want. See, I'm telling y'all about my cars, but how could I name them quickly? I done wrote them down. I check them out. Look, when I'm free, I'm looking at them. I'm like, yeah, girl, that Lexus truck is nice. Yeah, put that on the list. I think that's going to be a good Saturday car. See, you got to have a plan. Write it down. Don't be scared to put your dream in words. Number 2, you speak it. See, call things that are not as though they were. Mark 11:23 and 24 says, verily I say unto you, that whosoever shall say unto this mountain, be thou removed and be thou cast into the sea, and shall not doubt in his heart, but shall believe that those things which he says shall come to pass, he shall have whatsoever he says. Therefore I say unto you, what things soever ye desire, when ye pray, believe that ye receive them, and ye shall have them. I stated in the second grade that I wanted to be a teacher. In the second grade, I told my teacher I want to be a teacher. She said, girl, you don't want this job. It's a hard job. I said, girl, yes, I do. Second grade. See, they tell us that when Jesus called Lazarus out of the grave, that his words were so powerful that if he had not said Lazarus' name, that every dead body in the ground would have gotten up. The Bible says that we have an inheritance just like him. They say that our words are just as powerful as his. So I call things that are not as though they were. I call my son a prince. I plan for him to be some woman's king. I call my house a mansion because I plan to live there one day. I call myself jobless because I plan to be doing well, not working one day. I call myself a wife way before I had a husband. I called myself a mother way before I gave birth. Why am I doing? I'm calling things that are not as though they were. You got to be able to speak life into a dead situation. I know that he is beating me upside my head today. But girl, I'm not always going to be stuck in this situation. I'm going to get from under his thumb. I'm going to be able to take care of myself. I'm going to leave, and I don't care if I got to leave in the middle of the night with just my shirt on my back. I'm getting away from this ignorance. So you got to call things that are not as though they were. The third thing you have to do is you have to plan for it. Proverbs 16:9 says, a man's heart devises his way, but the Lord directed his steps. You have to have a plan. See, as a child, I wanted to be a teacher. As an adult, I had to put some steps in order to become a teacher. I had to first get out of high school. Then I had to go to college and take the education classes in order to get the education degree. Then I had to take a test called the Praxis that gave me my education license. And now that I am a teacher, I have to go to professional development on the regular because education is changing daily because these children are not the same. So it's no different when I wanted to teach the word. I want to be a teacher at my church. What changed? Nothing for you, But for Penny, she don't sleep every night. That's okay. I'm good with no sleep because I'm getting the word on another level. So I don't get to go to bed when you go to bed. And if I do go to bed, I don't get to stay asleep all night. I'm okay with that. You got to stay up late at night sometime because God talk when he want to talk. And he not on no clock. We the ones on the clock. He'll wake you up in the middle of the night. He'll stop you in the line. Anywhere God begin to speak, I got to have a pen or a pencil ready to take that word down because I want to be a teacher. Not only do I want to be a teacher, I want to be a teacher that changes lives. I want somebody to grow from what I'm saying. I don't want you to know that I got up and spoke. I want you to go home with this word on your mind. I want you to be saying, Sister Penny said this, and this is what I'm going to do. But I want you to know, Sister Penny don't speak words that God don't give her. Everything I say come from the Lord. I try to keep my personal feelings to myself because God is not interested in what Penny said. I want you to grow in the word. In order for you to grow in the word, I'm going to have to give up some sleep. I'm going to have to pray around the clock. I'm going to have to be willing to do what no one else is willing to do because I don't want to be set down. I don't want to be replaced. I'm desperate to be teaching. I'm thirsty to get up and give a word. I want to be given a word. I desire to give the word. So during my 10 to 3 hours when I'm working, doing Penny thing, the reason why I had to limit it from 10 to 3 is because, at 9 o'clock I'll be in prayer because I'll be in prayer at 6. And at 3 I'll be in prayer again. See, I pray around the clock. And since I'm not going to be hitting anybody else's clock, I'm going to have plenty of time to put the prayer in. You want more out of life. You want your dreams to come true. James 2:20 says, but wilt thou know, O vain man, that faith without works is dead. You got to put some work into this thing. God is waiting to turn your dreams into blessings. The problem is you too scared to write it, speak it, or plan it. Before I close, I'm going to tell you something I told Kiara not too long ago. She came to me and she said, I said to her, have you heard of this place called whatever? And she said, oh my God, that must be confirmation. I don't like that. So I was like, what? Why you say that? She said, because you asked me about it. I went to it last month, and I'm just saying you like the second person to ask me about it. And I'm thinking, I was just waiting for God to tell me that this was the word. I said, oh, okay. I said, Kiara, baby, sit down. Let me talk to you real quick. And she sat down. I said, Kiara, when I want something from God, this is what I do. And I want you to do this from now on so you don't have to wait for confirmation. I said, when you ask God for something in prayer, I said, unlike you, after I ask God, I have to go to a man and make sure it's okay with him. But you don't have a husband, so you don't have to go to a man and ask him anything. I said, once you ask God for anything, I don't care what it is, begin to make steps as though God has already said yes. And unless God put a wall up that stops you or makes you stumble, you keep making steps. Because this is what God is saying. Every step you take, I'm going to take 2. And since he's willing to take 2 for every one step that you take, you should be thirsty. It should be a moment that you take off running. So if I say I'm going back to school, I talk to God first, and then I get on the computer and start registering for school. Want to know why I get on the computer and register for school? Because I don't want God to think that I'm not serious about what I'm asking him for. Stop waiting for confirmation. God confirmed it when you prayed it. So if he didn't say no, if he didn't let it go, you got it. If you ask God for a job and you go on an interview and get the job, that was confirmation. But if you never go to the interview, how do you know if you got the job or not? I was waiting for confirmation. Your confirmation was your prayer. Stop waiting for what God has already given to you. See, the Bible says what is bound in heaven will be bound on earth. And what is loosed in heaven will be loosed on earth. That means we're catching up to them. We already got to catch up. God released it already. He's waiting for us to run and go get it. These are your dreams. This is the things you want. If you really want it, get up. Have a plan. Write it down, speak it, plan it out, go get it. You either gonna dream or die.